Hello and welcome to Cali Legends Media. Okay, it's going to be a real brief reaction, and it's going to be the last one, trust me, because it's like kicking a dead horse, you know what I mean? But it seems to still be a lot of people that are confused about a lot of things, including Danny, okay? He did a video the other day. First of all, I tripped out. The first video he did was an emergency video, you know? It was an emergency video to talk about something that everybody stopped talking about. You know, it was a dead issue. Nobody cared no more. It was like, it's a done deal. Just get on, live your life, and it is what it is, you know? But he brought up all kinds of stuff. I could only think that it was for views, okay? I did a little looking and poking around his channel, and a while back, he was getting 2-digit view on his views. 16, 11, 17, 37, different numbers, right? And for the longest, he's been down to 1 digit. 4, 6, 8. So he mentioned that he's been doing this for, I think he said 15, 20 years or something. I don't know. That he was one of the first ones on YouTube doing his thing. But he should really be doing something by now, you know? Like some big numbers, having a big following and stuff. Yeah, it's true. I'm a very small channel. I just started. I've been doing this a little over a year. I haven't hit a year and a half yet, you know? And yeah, I have some videos, you know, 25,000, 32,000, so on and so forth. You know, I have other one-digit videos, you know, 8s, 9s, 7s, 6, 5, all the way down to 1,500, you know? It is what it is. I'm just starting, you know. But my point is that something happened. Something changed. And we all know what happened, okay? There's only one reason why the numbers could have dropped like that. But he asked the question, like, who hates me on YouTube? Like it's a mystery to him, you know? I don't know too many people that really dig dude, you know? Maybe they are, I don't know. He had mentioned something about dropout channels, you know? Let me mention something about dropout channels, okay? You would put his channel in the same category, okay? I don't know how American Cholo found out, but he mentioned on his podcast how in the county he was getting slapped around by the homies, right? In the Maravilla module. No, he didn't get slapped around. That's a lie. He got a chequeada, full-blown chequeada for being disrespectful. So for a vato that has such good clecha and is always putting respect, y que respect aquí, respect pa allá, and, dude likes a lot of respect, especially to the older homies. Not just me, but older homies in general. Like, they got nothing coming, like, you know. But you know what? There are a few homies from my barrio that are like that. And that brings me to my next subject, okay? He mentions his homies. You know, I'm always in my barrio. I'm thinking he's saying Maravilla, you know, because he was born in Maravilla, raised in Maravilla, and he was even from my neighborhood for a short period of time. So yes, he does come from Maravilla, but he's not from Mariana. And that was my only point I made. When I Googled Mariana Maravilla, his face popped up, and underneath said Mariana Maravilla gang member, not Maravilla gang member. It said Mariana Maravilla gang member. That's where the trouble lied, because he rolled it up from the Maravilla tier. Okay, he was getting not slapped around, but a couple of rondas. He was getting checked, DP'd on the tier. And when his cousin rolled it up for allegedly snitching, I don't know, the gang unit came for him and took him. He never came back. The only place he could have went to at that time was the green light module. because the green light was full blown at that time. So we know he didn't go to the main line. We know he didn't go to the Sureño module. The only other place was the hole. Okay, I went to the hole like 3 times while I was there. He wasn't in there, and all the homies that were in the hole during that period weren't in. He wasn't in there. You know who's in there, and so there's always been that thing that he rolled it up off the tira. When you do that, there's no coming back. There's no coming back. We had another guy. He used to be from Choppers. Cyclone, right? Fool did the same shit. My homeboy gave him a chequeada. That fool rolled it up. And he ended up down in the PC module. Not the green light module, but the PC module. Okay, which was above the hole. So vatos that leave like that, they're never welcome back. They might I don't know, man. I don't know what possessed this guy to think that he's still part of something. He even made it clear while he was out here that he wasn't claiming the neighborhood no more. You know what I mean? By other actions. I'm not going to get into it because it's getting too deep into personal audio shit, This ain't the platform for it. But you could add his channel pretty much to the dropout channel because he dropped out of the neighborhood. And like I said, if he still thinks he's from Mariana, he could come down and we could talk about it. You know what I mean? We figure it out, no big thing. That being said, he mentions in his last video, not the emergency video, but this last video, he mentions that I got myself in trouble, that I got marked out, or I don't know what the fuck he called it, for mentioning people that I shouldn't have been talking about at the hat. Now, I was talking to him with full authority when I spoke to him. I was talked to from my neighborhood, and that message was to get to him, and I went in and I gave it to him. And he lied about the situation. I find out later. But that's like I said, not even for this platform either. But he did mention it. And about me being told not to talk about him, that was for my benefit. That they were looking out for me. The homie that told me that. And he wasn't from Mariana. He's from Maravilla. And he didn't tell me to stop talking about him, like telling me what to do. He just told me, hey, homie, don't even go there with that vato like this. It's not a good idea. And he explained to me why, and I agree with him. But if that's what Marvelous wants to think, that's fine. But that warning was for my benefit, okay? Because I was going too far, because I got mixed up. I got all in my feelings, and I started talking too much about something that shouldn't have been on YouTube, and it shouldn't have. I took it to YouTube because that's where he took it to, So, we're on the same playing field. Nevertheless, I took the advice, and that's all it was advice, and it was good advice. Okay, and I understood that later, exactly why that was good advice. And if homeboy can't figure it out, well, that's cool. But no, I never got marked out. I never got DP'd. I never rolled it up, especially from my own barrio's module, or from the Sureño module, or from anywhere that I've gone. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know what to tell you about this guy. Some of the things that he thinks is are lies. Some of it is just he's delusional about them, and that's all right. And as far as Norby's side busting up in the corner there, we all know about Norby's. You know what I mean? I haven't seen him on a regular platform in a long time. He went and got on a guy from the North's platform, Chicano Tube. He got on his platform to speak and stuff, but I don't see anybody putting him on, except this guy, which is his business, I just don't think it's a good look for Danny, having, with everything that's going on and happening, Maybe he should have somebody to represent that, whoever his homies are. Hopefully they're not from Mariana, because if they are, yeah, someone's gonna get marked out. That's for damn sure. Because everybody knows that this vato. First of all, most of the guys, especially the older homies, I don't know why you keep saying my older homies, my older homies. My older homies don't even know this cat, except for what they've heard from me on social media and from him on social media. They don't know this guy. I haven't. Some of them haven't even heard of him, except for that. Strangers come to me in the street, and after introducing themselves, and we talk a little bit, bring them up, make jokes and stuff. I would try to lay low, do my shit, worry about my shit, and they say that when a person doesn't know how to respond to the truth, they resort to insults. You know what I mean? But there's no way to insult me. I'm an old ass homie. Everybody gets old. You're lucky if you make it as long as I have, being in the streets as long as I have, doing the things that I've done and we're doing up until a few years back, and still be alive. You're blessed, or that a disease hasn't taken you already. Because I've lost so many homies that are my age. In my age group, in my circle. So I'm fortunate that I've made it this far. Even an older homie told me, "Hey, homie, you're lucky, homie. You've been around all this time. You're still good and everything, and you're still doing your thing. You're enjoying life. And so all of that. Oh, he's old. He's too old. He shouldn't be worried about this. He should be worried about that. It's all jealousy. Let me hit the jealousy issue real quick. There's no way in hell I would ever be jealous of this young dude, man. I have nothing. Not over channels. I'm not jealous. Not over what he's got. He has to use some dude's car for his intro. He don't even have a car, but he sports it like it's his, like he's cruising down the boulevard, firme, like that's what he does. It's not even his car. Everybody knows whose car that is. I'm pretty sure. If you watch YouTube, you've seen that car in several videos. I think the car he's driving, he took from his kid behind some personal stuff. So why would I be jealous? I think I got a wonderful life, a wonderful wife. I don't have no sput hanging on me. I don't have people talking about me on social media or on in the streets. You know what I mean? And my reputation's good. Except for dumbasses that don't even know me. That I don't know. Maybe they just want to talk shit. I don't know. But the people that know me know, so I'm not sweating it. It's important what they think and what they know about me, not everybody else that, especially this guy, So jealousy, no, there's no jealousy involved or anything. There's no spot to take in the internet. I guess he said that he had a spot or something, or that he didn't have a spot, that I made it sound like he has a spot representing Maravilla. Everybody knows he don't represent Maravilla, and especially don't represent Mariana. He ain't even from there. So I wish all you people who do have podcasts and do speak on this, stop saying his homies this, his homies that. His homies are somebody else. They're not the guys from Mariana. He's talking about the homies he hangs around with. Maybe guys from different Maravillas, girls from different Maravillas. Whoever wants a tattoo for a good price or that are his friends, probably. Those are his homies. But he don't have homies here. The homies here already marked this fool out. He's done, Like they say, if he has some kind of thought in his head that he's still from the neighborhood, he could come down and get put off. Again, just righteously, where there'll be no confusion, Or maybe he could talk a good one and make everybody forget everything, Because he could talk a good one. You guys know that. I'll give you a good example. The Iron Jacket situation. When I seen that, I was like, fuck, man, this dude's too much, man. I knew his mother. His mother was straight gabacha, good lady, Helen. And I knew his dad, Leonard, older homie from El Loyo. I knew both of them, okay? His grandpa raised them because, well, I'm not going to get into his personal life like that, but my point is that he's Chicano and white. He has this thing that he has to argue about what race he is. Just say it, man. You're half white. You're half whatever your dad is. Whatever Mexican or Chicano, whatever he is. That's what you are. You're not made from one person. You're not a clone. Okay, it takes two people to come up with the amount of DNA that you need to become a human being and have two hands. There's two sides of you, two eyes, two legs, and this DNA comes together and creates one person. That's how they could test you and find who your mother is, who your father is, by a piece of skin, by your hair, by the cells in your mouth. Why? Because that's what you're made of. Okay, but I'm not going to get into that. He's half white, half Mexican, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like, what's the problem? Um, I thought that was the reason why his brothers don't talk to him. Now that I mentioned that, though, um, it's not just his homies, but even his brothers are tired of his shit. His kids are tired of his shit. Um, he's like doing too much. You should have left things alone, man. I told you in the second to the last video that I made, I gave you the best advice in the world, man. I told you just cut all this shit, move on, and do you. Do your teaching, do whatever you do, and people that are interested in that are going to follow you. I don't know. It's because the low numbers that you're getting now, these little 1-digit numbers that you're getting, is what persuades you to try something different. But you just came out of the bushes with all this, man. Nobody was mentioning you, talking about you. You're the one that brought me up. Okay. Somebody put it in a comment section that you were talking shit about me. It's like, what the fuck? Like, why? You know what I'm saying? And all these other guys that you talk about. Yeah, you got beef with them. Yeah, you called them out. It doesn't even matter. All that doesn't even matter. You could beat up the whole fucking internet. It's not going to change what happened to you during your life and during your past. And that's just something we all got to live with. We got to all live with our mistakes and with our fuck ups and with the embarrassing things we've done. Unless you haven't done none of those things, which I doubt that, because we all have done things that we regret and wish we wouldn't have done. And we've all made mistakes. Okay. Um, I'm not going to answer these questions anymore in the comment sections anymore, because it's always the same thing. I thought you didn't know this guy and this and that, blah, blah, blah. I didn't know him claiming my neighborhood. I just knew him as a customer, okay? And I'm not even going to get into that again, okay? I'm not going to be throwing rocks at this vato. He's got enough shit already to deal with, And I said everything that I said before. It's all the same. Later, looking it more deeply into it, which took time because nobody could really tell me nothing about him. The people that knew him and stuff, most of them are all gone. There's just very few. And they just gave me bits and pieces until I hit the jackpot one day and they told me, no, this vato, this, and blah, blah, blah. Talk to so-and-so. And then they put me on the right trail where I picked up all this other stuff that happened in the county. And, as far as the kid and the brother thing, dude, man, they were on your kids went on fucking social media, man, and put you on blast. You know what I mean? Like that's like internal shit, internal information, like that came out. So I don't know, man. I'm gonna give you the same advice I gave you the last time, man. Just leave it alone, dude. Leave it alone. You doing these things and everything, people say you were being disrespectful. No, I don't think you were being disrespectful toward me, especially on this last video. I think you were just trying to explain something, and you did it with class, and I appreciate that. But the point is, that's irrelevant stuff, and that's, the people in the comment section. I answered them in the comment section. You didn't have to put it on social media. I already had answered them on those mysteries that some people can't seem to understand. You know what I mean? It's very simple. You're not from Mariana, and that's it. You claim Maravilla because you're from Maravilla right here, in Ala Maravilla, and you got my homies that are from Maravilla. I understand that much, because people do that. I'm just saying, as far as my neighborhood goes, so there shouldn't be no argument there, And besides, like you say, you're a teacher. You contribute to the culture. You don't care about the gang, the prison stories and this and that. You find no value in it, and that's all right, But some people do, and some people do learn from them, from the stories, But hey, to each his own. So with that, I'm gonna end this video. Norbis, te va, cabrón, pinche gordo feo. Don't throw rocks on me. You live in a glass house, dog. Don't throw rocks, man. You don't want people to start talking about you because they're just gonna say bad things, Norby. I feel like bad for you in a way. I'm not gonna get into it. You're saying people are gay because they do reaction videos about different podcasters and stuff. If that's gay to you, well, fuck, man. All right. Anyways, yeah, that's my video for today, people, man. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to my viewers, the ones that are tired of this shit, tired of hearing this nonsense, because that's all it is. It's nonsense. Nobody cares, man. Nobody cares about this no more. Where everybody knows what time it is. You know what time it is. I know, and everybody, anybody that's heard the story or knows the situation, everybody knows what's up. So that's it. Just leave it alone. Anyways, I'd like to thank all my viewers, and especially the ones that have left comments in the comment section, who hit that like button, and who return and view other videos. They're not one-time watchers, they're subscribers. If you'd like to subscribe, please hit that subscribe button down below, and put that notification bell on all, and you'll be notified whenever a new video drops or if we go live. God bless each and every one of you. People, stay safe, stay out of jail, stay free, so we could be here for our families, man, when they need us most, man. For the people that really count. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you on the next video.